everyone, it's Melissa. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's April, so Earth Day is coming up, and with that in mind, I wanted to share with you a few ideas of how I feed my family with young children and share with you the products and ways that I am feeding them without creating a lot of trash or expense for my family. So here in front, I wanted to share with you about mealtime at home. We try to avoid plastic in our house because we are concerned about chemicals and leaching, and we also don't like the idea that it has a short life and gets thrown away. We've been pretty successful using our regular dishes. I tend to use a smaller one for our children, so ceramic or glass. I also have jam jars or old glasses that are a small juice size, and my daughters love them, and at a very young age, I would say even around 12 months old, my youngest daughter has mastered using a glass. We also have introduced straw replacements. So instead of using a plastic straw, we're using a glass straw at home, which I know sounds crazy to be giving to your child, but my children have had a perfectly fine time using them, and they're really an eco-friendly replacement. So here I have, these are a Hummingbird Glass Straw. We love them. It makes seeing what you're drinking come up through the straw a lot of fun, and these come with a little tiny scrubby cleaner. I also wanted to share this with you in advance of Earth Day because a lot of times these more eco-friendly companies do sales around Earth Day and have specials, and I'll link the names of these products down below. So aside from feeding my family at home using reusable materials that are non-plastic, I also love to pack lunch in a bento style box. This eliminates the need for plastic Ziploc bags, which we do use to some extent at home for storage, but we're not using on a daily basis. I also am not buying individual snacks like some parents do, where they're buying chips and cookies and other little snack treats and I don't know, like fruit gummies and stuff like that. I don't buy that prepackaged. I find that you are spending money on something that you're just gonna throw away, and it's such a shame, and it's a sad lesson to teach your children. Instead, I wanted to quickly pack this lunchbox for you. This is a Planet box. It's made from stainless steel, which we love, and it's gonna live for, maybe till my kids go to college, who knows. It's very durable and sturdy. It packs really fast. So I made a lunch here today because I wanted to show you where the trash goes. There's very little waste. I chose to make a rice cake with nut butter, and we're just gonna get that ready to go. I made some ants on a log using celery. I have a few peas from our garden, some cut up carrots from last night, and then I even sometimes make my own dips, which is very economical. And then, it bears discussing that, I do buy snacks that come in packaging. So ideally, I'm trying to do less of this, but I realize that, you're doing the best you can. So just packing this way is one great way to minimize waste. The last idea about packing a healthy lunch that is earth-friendly is the more fresh produce that I feel I can get into a lunchbox, the better, and the less pre-packaged processed snack products I'm using and throwing their corresponding trash away. It closes really easily and opens really easily for my preschooler, and then I always include for her a cloth reusable napkin. It goes in an insulated bag with an ice pack, and she's set. I do have a different water bottle that's at school with her right now, but a reusable water bottle eliminates so much plastic waste and chemical leaching that you don't want your child consuming. I lastly wanted to share with you, where does this trash go once we're done with it? And so you see I have leftover fruit scraps, so the apple core and a few blemished spots, and I put that in my compost pail on the counter in the kitchen. And then anything that's a vegetable scrap that maybe you would be putting into a soup pot, I save in my freezer for when I'm ready to make soup. So I go ahead and I put the top and bottom of the celery into I call it my bone bag. I have my chicken bones from a chicken carcass that we carved. I have the peelings from a broccoli stem. I have old wilted celery in here. I throw this in, carrot tops go in there, onion skins and onion peelings go in. This goes back in the freezer until I'm ready to deal with it. And then when I'm ready to deal with it, it goes in my giant soup pot. I fill it with water. I boil it on the stove, in the evening time when I can just let it go and monitor it. And then I drain the scraps out, and I have soup stock afterwards. And this is an example of some of the containers of beautiful homemade soup stock that I've made from my leftover bones and vegetable scraps. So this is the result of that bone bath and saving my veggie scraps. And this is a result of my compost that I'm using these other table scraps for and combining with yard trimmings and leaves that we rake up in the fall. And I layer that in a composter that's out the door of my kitchen. So these are just some ideas that I really wanted to share with you to show that we're a normal family, but we are trying to make small changes to reduce the amount of waste that we're putting out into the world. I know that my children notice. They're very interested in gardening and composting, and they're watching mommy cooking all the time. So I feel good about doing it. I hope that these ideas have been helpful to you. And if so, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe so you can see more that I'm creating for you soon. Take care.